As the NFL trade deadline looms, a mere whisper away, can you feel the tension building across the league? That gut-wrenching anxiety for some, the exhilarating anticipation for others, as teams stand at a precipice, forced to make decisions that could define their season, or even their franchise's future. What if, amidst this frantic scramble for star power and blockbuster deals, a truly valuable asset, a hidden gem with untapped potential, is quietly being overlooked, waiting to be unearthed by a savvy general manager? What if the Atlanta Falcons, a team teetering on the edge of contention, hold such a player, and their own uncertain path might just make him available? The Atlanta Falcons find themselves in a familiar, yet increasingly precarious position. With a 3-4 record, they are adrift in the murky waters of mediocrity, staring down a challenging schedule that promises no easy victories. The air in Flowery Branch is thick with questions, the most pressing of which echoes through every NFL front office this time of year. Will they be buyers desperately clinging to playoff hopes, or will they become sellers acknowledging the need to retool and look towards a brighter tomorrow? This isn't just a philosophical debate, it's a strategic tightrope walk, with the outcome of their upcoming Sunday clash against the New England Patriots poised to dramatically sway their decision. According to the cold, hard numbers from NFL Next Gen Stats, the Falcons currently possess a mere 17% chance of making the playoffs. A win against the Patriots, while certainly not a guarantee of a deep run, could see that percentage climb to a more encouraging 26%. But a loss? That number plummets to a dismal 11%, effectively signaling the death knell for any realistic postseason aspirations. This isn't just about statistics, it's about the emotional pulse of a locker room, the belief of a fan base, and the strategic calculus of a front office. Do you double down on a long shot, or do you cut your losses and strategically position yourself for the future? It's a high-stakes poker game, and the Falcons are holding a hand that could go either way. In this environment of uncertainty, the league's top journalists are already working the phones, gauging interest and sniffing out potential moves. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano, two of the most plugged-in reporters in the business, have been diligently contacting teams across the NFL, assessing the landscape of possible transfers before the November 3rd deadline. And it's within their extensive network that a fascinating and perhaps unexpected name has emerged as a potential trade target should the Falcons decide to pivot to a selling strategy: edge rusher Arnold Ebiketie. Fowler, in particular, highlighted Ebiketie as an underestimated option, a player whose true value might be flying under the radar of many. This isn't the splashy, headline-grabbing name that dominates sports talk radio, but often it's these under-the-radar moves that yield the most significant long-term dividends for a shrewd general manager. So, who exactly is Arnold Ebiketie, and why is he being flagged as such an intriguing, albeit underestimated, trade piece? A former second-round draft pick out of Penn State, Ebiketie has spent his entire four-year career with the Falcons, accumulating a respectable 114 tackles, 68 solo, 14.5 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles over 57 games, 12 of which he started. These are solid, if not spectacular, career numbers for a rotational pass rusher. However, the real intrigue, the reason for the underestimated tag, lies in his flashes of brilliance, particularly his strong finish to the 2023 NFL season. Last year, the 26-year-old was a force, recording 5 of his 6 team-leading sacks in the final 6 games of the year. That kind of late-season surge, that ability to impact games when it matters most, generated significant excitement and high expectations for his performance heading into the current 2024 campaign. Yet, as is often the case in the unforgiving world of professional football, those expectations haven't quite materialized this season. While Ebiketie has played in every game, his production has seen a noticeable dip, registering only 21 tackles so far. The explosive, game-changing plays that defined his late-season surge last year have been less frequent, leading to a slower start that has undoubtedly contributed to his underestimated status. This isn't to say he's been ineffective, but rather that he hasn't consistently delivered on the promise he showed. and this dip in individual performance, coupled with the Falcons' broader team struggles, creates a complex scenario that makes him a prime candidate for a trade, especially for a team looking to add a proven, albeit inconsistent pass-rushing talent. The reasons for Ebiketie's potential availability extend beyond his individual performance. They are deeply rooted in the Falcons' strategic decisions and their ongoing roster construction. Ebiketie is currently in the final year of his rookie contract, meaning his future in Atlanta beyond this season is shrouded in uncertainty. This contractual situation alone makes him a logical trade candidate for a team that might not be willing to commit to a long-term extension, especially if they believe they have other, younger options waiting in the wings. And that's precisely where the Falcons' offseason moves come into play. Atlanta invested heavily in bolstering its pass-rushing group during the offseason, bringing in veteran Leonard Floyd, a proven commodity, and perhaps more significantly, drafting two promising rookies in the first round, James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. This influx of talent, particularly the high draft capital rookies, signals a clear organizational commitment to developing a new generation of edge rushers. While Ebiketie's snap count has remained relatively stable this season, hovering around 41%, the writing is on the wall. As Pierce Jr. and Walker continue to develop and acclimate to the NFL game, it's highly probable that their workload will increase, inevitably leading to a decrease in Ebiketie's playing time. For a team looking to maximize its return on investment and develop its future stars, holding onto a player in the final year of his deal, whose role is likely to diminish, makes little strategic sense unless they plan to extend him, a prospect that seems increasingly unlikely given their recent draft strategy. This confluence of factors, his expiring contract, the team's heavy investment in new pass-rushing talent, and his somewhat inconsistent play this season, positions Ebiketie as a classic sell-high-ish or sell-for-value candidate. The Falcons, while perhaps not actively shopping him, are usually willing to listen to offers for players, as Fowler noted. This suggests an openness to moving him if the right deal comes along, a deal that could bring back draft capital or another asset that better aligns with their long-term vision. The challenge, however, lies in the market itself. Fowler's report also hinted that the Falcons may struggle to find out if there are any offers on market. This isn't necessarily a knock on Ebiketie's talent, but rather a reflection of his underestimated status and the sheer volume of players available at the deadline. It means that any interested team might be able to acquire him for a relatively modest price, making him an even more attractive proposition for a savvy general manager. So, what kind of team would be interested in Arnold Ebiketie? Picture a contender looking to add a rotational pass rusher for their playoff push, a team that needs depth, and a player who can provide a spark off the edge. His age, 26, means he's still in his prime, and his previous flashes of brilliance suggest that with the right coaching and in a new environment, he could easily rediscover his game. He could be a low-risk, high-reward acquisition for a team that believes it can unlock his full potential. Imagine a team with a strong defensive line, where Ebiketie wouldn't be asked to be the primary pass rusher, but rather a complementary piece who can exploit one-on-one matchups and provide crucial pressure in key moments. His ability to force fumbles adds another layer of intrigue, as turnovers can often be the difference-maker in tight games. The NFL trade deadline is a fascinating spectacle, a whirlwind of rumors, negotiations, and last-minute deals. For the Atlanta Falcons, this deadline represents a critical juncture, a moment of truth that will reveal their true intentions for the remainder of the season and beyond. The decision regarding Arnold Ebiketie, while perhaps not as high-profile as some other potential moves, is emblematic of the strategic choices facing every franchise. Will they recognize the value in a player who, despite a slower start, has proven he can be an impact pass rusher? Or will they hold onto him, only to see his value diminish as his contract expires and his role shrinks? For a team looking to add a competitive, experienced, and potentially explosive edge rusher without breaking the bank, Arnold Ebiketie represents a compelling, albeit underestimated, opportunity. The question isn't just whether the Falcons will sell, but whether a rival general manager will be astute enough to recognize the hidden potential waiting to be unleashed. What are your thoughts on Arnold Ebiketie as a potential trade target? Do you think the Falcons should move him or hold on to him? And which team do you believe would be the perfect fit for his talents? Let us know your predictions and insights in the comments below. And if you're as captivated by the drama of the NFL trade deadline as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest breaking news and in-depth analysis.